Good afternoon, I'm Laura Skryzypczyk.
And I'm Barb Hegwood.
A Mount Pleasant woman could face felony charges for driving drunk.
The education program here at CMU has been approved for accreditation. Eric Coleman has sports and Jeff Freeland has weather details. Up next when News Central continues.
Serving the Mount Pleasant community and Central Michigan University. With Michelle Stewart, Laura Skryzypczyk, Mark Moses with weather, and Sal Jocko with sports. This is News Central.
Central Michigan University's education program has received a stamp of approval by the National Accrediting Agency. Accreditation is important since graduates from accredited schools have an edge in the job market, according to Gerald Meisner, Interim Dean of the College of Health, Education, and Human Services. The National Council for Accreditation of Teacher Education accredits approximately 520 institutions. Since new standards were adopted in 1987, only 70% of the schools reviewed have received accreditation. Gay and Lesbians Association for Student Support, otherwise known as GLASS, and other national gay and lesbian rights groups are protesting the Department of Defense's policy excluding homosexuals from military services. Earlier today, I spoke to co-president of GLASS, Paul Emmett, concerning the situation with the ROTC here at CMU. Okay, I'm speaking with Paul Emmett, co-president of the GLASS Association. What is the situation with the ROTC on campus?
Currently, the ROTC is allowed to discriminate against gay, lesbian, and bisexual students on campus. Currently, gay and lesbian students can't get scholarship money. They can't take the advanced program courses because you have to contract with the military, which is forbidden by the federal government. And therefore, since there are classes that are not open to students, the ROTC is allowed to discriminate against us. And it's in violation with our non-discrimination policy at Central.
So it is in violation with the policy?
Yeah. Central Michigan University has a non-discrimination policy that says that you cannot discriminate against students based on race, sex, and one of the categories of sexual orientation. And the ROTC program is exempted from that, and then the two are in conflict with each other, and the CMU needs to pursue a consistent policy to bring about a resolution of the conflict.
Now, are other schools, universities in Michigan, have the same policy, and how is the ROTC programs reflected there?
Every university in the country has different policies. Some schools don't have non-discrimination policies. Central is fortunate in that it does have a non-discrimination policy. And those universities that do have non-discrimination policies, it has been an issue. And in fact, this last week at Eastern Michigan University, the academic senate there and the student government there voted that ROTC is in violation of their non-discrimination policy and should be removed from campus or not reinstated on campus if it doesn't come in accordance with the policy.
Okay, thank you very much. The GLASS organization held a press conference earlier today to express disappointment in last year's Academic Senate's negative vote to rid ROTC from campus. Their hopes are to have the Senate re-examine their decision.
Renee Barnes is still recuperating from a March 22nd car crash that claimed the lives of two of her friends. Barnes' blood level alcohol was 0.249%. The legal limit of intoxication is 0.10%. Isabella County Prosecutor's Office isn't sure if charges will be filed. If Barnes is charged, she will face penalties under the new state statute that makes it a felony to drive drunk if it results in a fatal accident. Felony charges are punishable by up to 1 to 5 years in prison. The women were celebrating the birthday of the fourth passenger when the car spun out of control. And the winter semester at CMU is coming to a close, and students anticipate leaving the mountain town. With them goes a lot of business. News Central's Carolyn Wiley has more on this story.
As many CMU students make plans to leave for the summer, local businesses are facing a decrease in sales. There are about 16,000 students here in Mount Pleasant during the fall and winter semesters. However, businesses can expect around only 6,000 in the summer. Everything from bookstores, copy centers, and party stores have students as their main customers. Local businesses are expecting sales to go down in a few weeks once most students have left for the summer.
It drops down quite a bit. During the day, the totals, Monday through Thursday aren't much different. It's just the weekends where it really makes the big difference. There's not too many people around here on the weekends.
It's fairly stable for us throughout the summer, but it's much quieter as far as the amount of quantity of people in here. I'd say there's probably a couple of hundred students a day that won't be in here during the summer.
It's very quiet during the summertime, and we spend most of the summer getting ready for the fall term. There's a little bit of activity with the summer sessions, but most of the time it's fairly quiet.
As students concentrate on the upcoming exam week, area businesses are thinking of ways to attract summer sales. Carolyn Wiley, News Central.
Workers at Kroger stores in southeast Michigan could walk off their jobs this weekend. Talks with several unions representing workers have broken off. Only a few specific stores are threatening to strike. The Mount Pleasant store won't be directly affected by striking. Top-level managers from the local Kroger store could be placed in other striking stores. A decision will be voted on Sunday.
An AIDS activist group will plan a rally for today in Ann Arbor. The group, ACT UP, alleges that Ann Arbor police are guilty of violating the rights of AIDS activists. According to the group, when a police officer ordered an AIDS test after being spit up by a suspect, a judge granted the request. The suspect turned out to be a HIV negative, but ACT UP member and is staging a spit-in to protest the incident. Experts agree that the chances of contracting the HIV virus is through saliva and is very slim. Animals and pets become a source of enjoyment for us all, and it's a hardship even at college. News Central's Anthony Batke has more on the story.
Kinds of pets: cats, fish, birds, bunny rabbits, and even turtles. Pets become a part of the family and sometimes a close friend. The fascination with pets started at an early age. At college, animals can become more important because of the distance from one's family. The Theta Chis here at Central Michigan University had to deal with their own death. A turtle named Ima, which was the Theta Chi's mascot, died after 16 years. They held a funeral procession and burial for Ima after the death.
I don't know, everyone was supportive because they knew that she was part of the fraternity, and I don't know, we just thought of her, she was like a mascot for us in a way, and she's we're gonna miss her and everything, so.
The Mount Pleasant Police Department helped out and gave Ima a police escort during the procession. The fraternity has hung many banners and signs around town in tribute to their fallen mascot. Ima was involved in a hit-and-run accident last Tuesday, and the burial was Thursday night.
Everyone came for the burial, and we had it right there, and it was nice. It was nice for Ima. I mean, it might sound corny, but we figured it was the right thing to do since she had been here so long. That's an old turtle.
The Theta Chis are undecided over if there will be a replacement for their beloved pet Ima, but one thing is for sure: the next mascot will be another turtle. Anthony Batke, News Central.
Local attorney and civic leader Bill Rush announced his candidacy for Isabella County Circuit Judge. Rush is a former law partner of retiring Circuit Court Judge Paul O'Connell. He has 23 years of experience as an attorney and feels serving the community is both an honor and a privilege. Rush graduated from Sacred Heart Academy and then obtained a Bachelor of Science as well as a Juris Doctor from the University of Detroit. Bill and his wife Eileen have been involved in various civic, charity, and church functions throughout the county for several years.
And coming up next in world news, we'll hear about Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega and his penalization for his criminal actions.
In national news, Jerry Brown is denying the recent allegations against him. Stay tuned.
This is Anna. She has a lot. She has a mother who loves her and a roof over her head. But tar paper walls don't keep out the night chill. She doesn't have enough to eat, sometimes little more than tortillas. She doesn't have the books and supplies she needs to stay in school. And education is her key to a better life. Anna and others like her need someone to help. Could you help? For over 25 years, Children Incorporated has been matching children like Anna with sponsors like you. Your tax-deductible donation of only $21 each month will help provide food, clothes, medical care, and education. You'll receive a picture of the child you're helping and opportunity for personal contact. Please don't wait. Imagine how your help will make Anna or a child like her feel. You can give hope. Write or call Children Incorporated, 1-800-538-5381. That's Children Incorporated, 1-800-538-5381.
And fellow mountain goats, this year's recipient of the treasured Black Horn Award, Richard Lynch. Come on up here, Dick.
What are you doing this weekend that's so important you can't take a little time to test your home for radon? After all, it is the second leading cause of lung cancer, and a radon test kit is inexpensive. You could pick one up on your way to the lodge.
A judge is expected to sentence Charles Keating on security fraud. The judge already cleared away one defense motion to forestall sentencing. He rejected its bid for a new trial. Keating could get up to 10 years. At his Los Angeles home while he governed California. ABC News reported allegations from 4 men who worked on Brown's security detail while he was governor from 1975 to 1982. However, allegations do not include that Jerry Brown was using drugs himself. President Bush is calling the conviction of Manuel Noriega a major victory against the drug lords. Defense attorney Frank Rubino says an appeal would be based on issues including Noriega's prisoner of war status and the invasion of Panama. Noriega was found guilty on 8 of 10 drug and racketeering counts. He is to be sentenced July 10th and could face up to 120 years. As Miami courts finish one Noriega trial, it moves on to the next. The wife of former Panamanian leader Manuel Noriega says she is innocent of petty theft and criminal mischief in a shoplifting case. Felicidad Noriega lawyers went to a state court in Miami to enter the plea today, one day after her husband was convicted of drug racketeering. She's accused of stealing hundreds of buttons off expensive dresses in a department store. Her trial is set for June. Finally, in national news, President Bush is moving toward nationwide welfare reform. In the first of several such expected moves, the president has waived federal regulations, allowing Wisconsin to adopt a program to reduce its welfare payments. The plan would be more severe to ensure that delinquent dads pay child support. It would also provide more incentives for parents to stay together, such as jobs and parental training. Welfare payments would stop after the second child. This plan neither punishes the additional child nor provides an incentive for abortion. It merely supports responsible parenthood. In a press conference that took place this afternoon, President Bush explained his objectives.
The waiver relief that will allow Wisconsin to move ahead on its bold new strategy to reform that state's welfare system. Along with reform of the government, I'll continue to push for the changes necessary to fight for American jobs at home by expanding markets abroad, to better educate our children, fighting for America 2000, to reform a legal system that is drowning us in a sea of litigation, and to provide all Americans with access to quality health care.
Panama cheered when a Miami jury convicted former dictator Manuel Noriega of 8 counts of drug trafficking and money laundering. Noriega still faces 15 criminal charges in Miami, including 2 murder cases and allegations that he pocketed millions of public funds. U.S. prosecutor says the millions spent on Noriega's trial was well worth it.
Express the surprise, the feeling of relief that we have that so much effort by so many agents and prosecutors, the staff of the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Department of Justice, and DEA has finally come to this, that we can stand before you and tell you it was all worth it.
Unless leaders of foreign governments are willing to kneel once a day and face Washington and give praise to George Bush, they too may be in the same posture as General Noriega.
You sound bitter.
I am bitter.
Say that Noriega's conviction may help uncover millions from Panama's treasury. And British Prime Minister John Major is calling his Conservative Party's win a, quote, magnificent victory, end quote. The Conservative had wrapped up 326 seats that needed to claim majority in the Parliament. The election results are something of a milestone for the Conservative Party. They've become the first to win 4 straight elections in this century. John Major appreciates his confidence that voters have in him.
Is to carry on in government and carry out the policies we've set out for the people of this country. And that, I promise you, is what we're going to do.
While Britain's Conservatives hold on to their majority in Parliament, yesterday's elections, a party lost its only run. Jerry Adams, president of Sinn Féin, which supports the Irish Republican Party, lost its seat from West Belfast. And up next in the weather, we have Jeff today.
Well, it's raining out right now and it's really cold, but it's looking better for the weekend, so stay tuned for News Central. We'll be right back.
Strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Used in the world in the last 40 years, none had more power than this one.
Now here's a few reasons why you should watch All Kidding Aside. All Kidding Aside, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 p.m. on Moore Hall, Channel 34.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The current temperature is 38 degrees out right now, and the humidity is at 67%. The dew point is at 29%. The barometric pressure is 30.51 and falling. The winds are northeast at 17 miles per hour, and the sunset tonight will be at 8:13 p.m. Right now, let's look at the national map. As we see up here in, as we can see up here in Washington, it's 55 degrees. Los Angeles, partly cloudy with 75 degrees out. Up in Helena, Montana, it's 52 degrees. In Denver today, it's 77 degrees out and rising. Down in Houston, Texas today, 83 degrees. We see this cold front here, and I'll explain that. As it moves north, it's going to get warmer this weekend. We'll go to the other side, to the East Coast, and we see that in Chicago, it is 58 degrees, very close to us, kind of chilly. New York is 59 degrees. Down in Georgia and Atlanta, it is 82 degrees, and end up down in Miami, it is 83 degrees. Let's take a look at the state map now. Okay, in the state, we see in the UP, we've got the temperatures are in the low 30s, upper 20s, partly sunny up there. And we look at Traverse City, Alpena, and, oh, what's the other one? They're all 32 degrees. Mount Pleasant today is 38 degrees. Lansing we find at 43. Kalamazoo is at 44 degrees, and it's 45 degrees in Detroit, and it's partly cloudy or raining all over the state. Let's take a look at the weekend about what's coming up. Forecast for tonight is occasional rain with a low of 37 degrees. Tomorrow, showers are likely with a high of 52. Sunday, mostly sunny, high of 40 degrees, low of 30. And Monday, sunny, high of 37, low of 24.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. So can we smile through this weekend?
It's just not as easy as it looks. What can I say?
Great, Jeff. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Up next, we'll hear sports.
Coming up next in sports, there's still hope for the NHL playoffs. The Pistons are winning again, and we'll show you an amazing golf shot from the Masters. These stories and more when News Central returns.
Salisbury, Maryland, the hungry are being fed. In Wind Falls, Indiana, a man who learned to read at 47 is making sure others learn earlier. In Hope, New Mexico, people turned an abandoned school into a thriving community center. In Boston, Massachusetts, neighbors set up a crime hotline that's making their streets safer. From Seattle to Galveston, from Buffalo to Fargo, every day, someone in America is doing something to light up another life. But there is so much more to do. The light to do it is within us all. We only need to share it. Contact the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Honey, it's Mom. Please let me in. I'm worried.
Learn to see the signs of mental illness. 2 out of 3 people who get help get better. For a free booklet, call the American Mental Health Fund.
We made it! Hey, I couldn't have gotten through physics without you.
Yeah, well, you're on your own at college.
It's not fair.
That's all right. I'm gonna get a job, you know. I'm gonna start working, I'm gonna save. And I'll be in college in another year or 2.
So, what do you have planned, Mike?
I think I'm gonna go home and make a sandwich. Okay.
Support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Good evening, everybody. Well, there's still hope today that the NHL season will resume and the Stanley Cup playoffs will be saved. The League and the Players Association sat back down yesterday to reopen stalled collective bargaining negotiations. The League had set a deadline for yesterday at 3 o'clock to end the season officially if no agreement had been reached. Although it's positive that the two sides are sitting down again, they remain far apart on several key issues. Players Union Chief Bob Goodnow and NHL President John Ziegler were scheduled to meet today in New York. The CMU baseball team will try and continue its winning ways this weekend with doubleheaders today and tomorrow against the Cardinals of Ball State. Central 9-15 overall and 5-5 in the MAC is coming off a huge sweep of Western Michigan on Tuesday. Steve Nowak and Todd Schaefer started on the mound today for the Chippewas. and game time for tomorrow's doubleheader is scheduled for 1 p.m. In Major League Baseball, the Detroit Tigers went 0-3 on the season yesterday as they dropped their third straight to the Toronto Blue Jays 3-1. The Jays swept the Tigers behind 7 strong innings from pitcher Juan Guzman. The only bright spot for Detroit came when newcomer Mark Carrion hit his first American League home run to lead off the second inning. But that was it for the Tigers, who managed only 4 runs and struck out 11 times on the afternoon. Detroit will go for its first win of the season tonight against the New York Yankees, who are in town for a weekend series. Eric King will be on the mound for the Tigers. Game time is set for 7:35. In other action from around the American League last night, the Yankees slipped by Boston 3-2. Texas crushed Seattle for the third straight game, 9-1, and got a 3-run homer from Ruben Sierra. The White Sox beat California 7-6. Baltimore got the shutout win from Ben McDonald, blanking Cleveland 2-0. Minnesota down the Brewers 3-1, and Oakland beat Kansas City for its third win in a row, this time by a final count of 5-2. Over in the National League, the San Francisco Giants spoiled the defending National League champion Atlanta Braves home opener, dismantling the Braves 11-4 before a crowd of over 43,000. The Dodgers doubled up on San Diego 6-3. Houston won 6-5 over Cincinnati in 13 innings when Casey Canelea singled home the winning run. Philadelphia handled the Cubs 7-1. The New York Mets beat St. Louis by that same score, and Montreal got its first win of the season, 8-3 over Pittsburgh. The Detroit Pistons will take the floor tonight with riding a 3-game winning streak. The Pistons host the Charlotte Hornets at 8 p.m. tonight at the Palace and will look to continue the success of their newly installed trapping defense. The team is hoping the new defensive scheme will help them get by Boston in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs and possibly even the Chicago Bulls in their quest to retain the conference and world championships. Looking at the NBA scoreboard from last night, the Utah Jazz picked up their 50th win of the season and clinched the Midwest Division in the process, beating the Dallas Mavericks 113-90. Elsewhere, Cleveland outslugged Charlotte 141-134 and clinched the second-best record in the Eastern Conference behind Chicago. Houston had the Timberwolves howling in Minnesota, downing the Wolves 117-102. San Antonio got a season-high 33 points from Sean Elliott and beat the Lakers by 6. The LA Clippers extended their winning streak to 4 games, beating Portland 106-100. Orlando squeaked by Atlanta by 2. Seattle bested Phoenix 119-114 en route to their 5th straight win. And Sacramento was all over Denver 124-107, handing the Nuggets their 9th loss in a row. The excitement had barely died down in Ann Arbor this week over the basketball team's run at the NCAA title when anticipation of the 1992 football season began with the start of spring football practice. Despite large holes to fill, most notably Heisman Trophy winner Desmond Howard and All-Americans Greg Skryzypczyk and Eric Anderson, Michigan is the favorite in the Big Ten race this season. Coach Moeller noted that no one player will replace Howard and that everyone will have to improve in a team effort. Senior quarterback Elvis Gerbach will return to lead the Wolverines once again in '92. The Maize and Blue have won outright or shared the Big Ten title each of the last 4 years and 5 of the last 6. Spring practice winds up tomorrow with the annual Maize and Blue game at 1:30 at Michigan Stadium. And finally tonight, the 56th Masters Golf Tournament got underway in Augusta, Georgia yesterday, with Lanny Watkins and Jeff Sluman leading at 7 under par after the first round. The day featured some great shots, and here you'll see an amazing and somewhat lucky shot as Steve Elkington skips the ball across the water and up onto the green. The crowd loves it and nobody could believe it, but I'm sure that there are a lot of golfers out there that can relate to that one. An added note, Craig Perry took the Masters lead today after the second round at -9, and Freddie Couples is in second place. He is at -8, and that's a look at sports.
It was quite a shot there across the water.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of golfers out there that can relate to not being able to get over the water hazard like that, and he got really lucky, but it was a good shot.
Okay, thanks a lot, Eric.
Okay,
Laura?
thanks.
And the Elvis stamp will be on the agenda of the Nevada State Republican Party convention in May. Republicans in that state hope to implement a resolution opposing both versions of the Elvis stamp. One Nevada State Republican says the time has come to stop making heroes of politicians, musicians, sports figures who are promiscuous, abuse drugs, and abuse the system. So all those controversies going on today.
Well, I can't wait till Todd comes back.
Okay, Jeff, we'll keep that in mind. Thanks a lot from all of us here at News Central.
Have a good night.